Harris, and I love J. Ross T.
What's up, y'all? This your boy J. Ross, hanging out in St. Louis with bass phenom Mr. Bernard Harris, y'all. Left-handed, I might say, y'all. He holding this weapon of warfare right there. And man, this cat here is melodic as I don't know what. And first of all, he gonna let us get a little footage of him later on, so you'll get to see what I've been seeing all day. But B man, but starting off, man, when you picked up the bass, did it feel foreign to you upside down?
Man, you know, when you're a kid, you don't know if something is right or wrong. You just make it work.
Right.
As a kid. So man, I was real young when I picked it up, so I didn't know it was wrong. I had no idea that I was playing it upside down. Until I got, you know, around some cats and it was like, man, you know, you playing it the wrong way. Then my dad tried to get me a lesson, and the people at the music store said, we can't teach you unless you play it the right way. I told my dad, I don't ever want to go back there again. And I didn't. So since then, I've just been teaching myself how to play the wrong way.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, you've done a good job at it. Now coming up, how challenging was it? Kind of get a cast that's just starting out on bass, what you felt when you were first playing, and that you elevated yourself to be the music director of numerous tours. But at that point, when you was first kicking it off, man, were you frustrated, aggravated, man? And then how did you defeat that, if that's true?
Man, you know, being left-handed, you already have challenges. The left-handers that's watching know. They don't make a left-hand scissor, or they didn't when I was coming up. All the desks in the room were right-handed. The tablets that you wrote on were right-handed, so when you wrote, they had the tablet on the edge, the spiral, and you're writing, and your finger is smearing the ink, and so everything about left-handed is kind of awkward.
Right.
So when you grab the instrument, there are challenges too. So even the cutaway on the horns are kind of jacked up because I can't even go all the way down the neck. But you figure out how to make adjustments and make ways to hit notes that you can't quite reach with the fingers and stuff. And then upside down, I mean, my volume knobs are totally out of whack, but I've been doing it so long, it's comfortable.
Right.
So I really don't even want a left-handed bass because everything would be turned around for me. The tuning knobs would be up here. I go to reach for my E string, and so everything is out of whack. So it's you know, to people that are trying to play instruments, if I can do it upside down with the challenges I have playing it the wrong way, then the sky's the limit of what you can do with an instrument, playing it the right way.
Yeah.
But you know, spending time with your instrument is really the biggest thing. And for guitar players and bass players, I think the biggest challenge most of them have is they can play in this area of the neck, but they have issues playing in this area of the neck. So you have to learn your neck all the way up and down so that you can be familiar with all your notes and be able to express yourself, whether it's on the low end of the neck or the high end.
Yeah.
You just got to be familiar with your instrument. So those things have helped me to develop over the years to be a good musician. So then I can focus on now how do I make the band sound good, and really just knowing all the instruments. And I've played drums, so I kind of had that background, but I don't, I won't do it on stage, so I don't want nobody to be waiting for that. So I understand what it takes to have a pocket. So I know what the bass player is looking for when the drummer's playing. I know what the drummer's looking for when the bass is playing. So then when you start adding the chords and all the other things to it, you know how a band works. And then, when you get with artists and they'll find out that you're dependable, you're reliable, you have integrity, and they can trust you, then they give you their band or their music to say, okay, this is a CD, but now how can I make the live portion of this sound even better than the CD? So that's where the MD comes in, to kind of take the CD version and lift it even to a greater level that people can get the experience of a live show.
Yeah.
So, it's some responsibility being a music director, but you have to love people, you have to be a great communicator, and listen just as much as you do talk.
Yeah. Now, growing up, did music resonate throughout your house?
Man, let me tell you, the only thing that resonated through the house was the Golden Bells, not the Golden Bells, that's an old group from North Carolina, but they did have a 45 out. Y'all don't know about 45s. But it was the Mighty Clouds of Joy.
Oh, yeah.
And it was the Dixon Hummingbird. And what was so crazy was the stuff that I was listening to, I thought I was the drummer playing for these groups. My dad would take his 8-track recorder to the concerts with his 2 microphones. He would set them up on the edge of the stage and record these guys live. So what I was learning to play to, it wasn't on the records. I can't even find it to this day. So it was all 8-track stuff with, like, once again, you don't know anything about 8-tracks, so they stopped making them. So my growing up, I really thought that I was part of the Dixon Hummingbirds. I was part of the Mighty, not the Mighty Go to Bed. So you got me stuck on the Go to Bed. Of the Mighty Clouds of Joy. So what came full circle was about 3 years ago, I got a chance to work with the Clouds, wrote 2 songs on the record, played bass for them. So it was like an amazing blessing for me to have a full circle of, you know, this dream I had to always play for Jolie Gunn, and then actually come around and actually be doing songs and write songs for them to play. So it was amazing, man.
Yeah. Now, throughout all your experiences, do you find that what you're doing now is what you thought it would be?
I always dreamed of being on stage playing, but when I was younger, I did have a big nervous issue. I was scared to get in front of people. And if anybody knows quartet music, you got 4 or 5 guys in the front, you just find somebody to hide behind. And I would find the biggest guy and just kind of stand behind him. If he moved to the right, I moved to the right. He moved to the left, I moved to the left. And we were kind of in sequence together because I didn't want to be seen.
Yeah.
But that was, you know, my early part of playing. I was 11, 12 years old, and really trying to learn how to play the simple bass lines, simple stuff. But I didn't have it, and I was trying to learn and teach myself. So the older I got, I just seen how God had taken me from the back and hiding behind different people in the group to actually to the front of the stage, to pulpits, to places that I never thought I would be.
Right.
Playing the bass guitar, which bass is not known for being a front instrument.
Right.
But I thank God for allowing me to kind of get a peek of Stanley Clarke and other players that had taken bass and made a solo instrument of it, to where it's actually a voice and you can make it sing and talk. And it's just been a blessing of this journey that I'm still on.
Once again, y'all, we're in St. Louis at the St. Louis Family Arena, hanging out with my boy, bass phenom Bernard Harris, MD for Mandisa, getting ready for the concert tonight. But hey, let me ask you this, B. Do you find that, like, in your experiences, that the younger musicians coming up, do they have the integrity that you speak of, or professionalism? Do you see it? If you had to judge a scale, is it the same, or is it weighed one way or the other?
Well, I think there was always an issue of musicians having integrity. I mean, when I was growing up again, and I use these things as part of my foundation of what to do and what not to do. But even in quartet music, you know, there were the guys that would smoke around the corner or drink on the break. You know, a lot of times nobody knew they were doing these things.
Mm-hmm.
But then even now, a lot of people are exposed to more stuff on TV. And the different shows take you behind the scenes and see stuff. So the kids are actually seeing more now and have to really be challenged with morals and having standards of just everyday life, even going to school, even if they're not musicians. But the musicians, even me and you, we have to make ourselves accountable so we can have a higher standard so they can live by.
Mm-hmm.
So I count it, you know, a challenge to
All right.
somebody calling you Jay.
Man, they always call. I thought I had
Is that
on.
Marcus Miller? Tell myself what's up.
Man.
Is that Vixen?
No, they owe me money.
Say what?
Just kidding.
But you know, I mean, it's a great challenge to be in the forefront, standing for Christ and showing these musicians you can live holy, you can live without drugs, you can live without drinking, you can be married to one woman, be faithful over. And I've been married 18 years, 3
Yes,
girls.
sir. Yes, sir.
So those things can happen. It's a challenge for everybody. You know, I just taught one of the guys the other day. It's a challenge to turn down eating a cinnamon roll that looks so good that call our name. But you can say no to that, just like you say no to a whole lot of stuff that comes to you to try to entice you.
Man, now with your kids, would you encourage them to be musicians, knowing what you know and all the things you've encountered?
Oh yeah, I would love them to be musicians because they have a good example in front of them. But I'll tell any musician, you have to find a role model that you can trust, and nobody's perfect. So everybody's got some issue or something's going on in their life. You just got to know that God has given you a gift, and you can't treat it like you can just trade it in for something else.
Yeah.
You have to protect your gift and let God, nurture you and grow so that you can be the best musician and be the best person that you can be.
Okay, now what's up next for Bernard Harris, man?
Well, they laugh at me because they say I come out with a CD every year, and I do.
Oh yeah.
So I'm working on some new stuff. I've got probably 4 or 5 CDs out now, but I do believe that we are to leave a legacy behind. So the more music that I leave behind, the more valuable that music will be for my kids to be able to continue the legacy.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So.
All right, we'll give you information on people who can get with you and get the CD and just network with you on social media.
Yes, please hit me up. My website is bernardharris.com, BernardHarris. You can email me at bassistcovered@aol.com, or you can find me through the website. There's several CDs on there. My first one is entitled Bassist Covered. My second one is Favor. The third CD is Sweet Hour Volume 1. Then I got a Sweet Hour Volume 2. And I just did one that's entitled Back to the Basics.
Yeah.
Melodies I Love. A lot of cover tunes that are kind of the CCM thing and gospel mixed together. And then I did one of all love songs. So it's called Based on Love.
Oh yeah.
And all my songs and CDs got some bass that's connected to it. Got to have the word bass in it.
Now, do you do Skype lessons or anything like that?
Do Skype lessons.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, well, I ain't gonna ask you what you charge. You can talk about that in private to your potential customers, clients.
Yeah. But yeah, man, I do lessons. I think I'm in a generation now of, or a place in my life where I'm ready to start mentoring younger musicians. And I think if we're going to change the music industry in our different communities, which mine is back home in North Carolina and Raleigh, I feel like we need to do it through the youth and really help them get a better path of music so they don't have to search for their by themselves trying to find their niche in this music industry. Because it can be crazy and you can definitely get lost in it. So my goal is really to kind of move back home. I'm in Nashville now, and start an academy to inspire kids that, they can do their dream. It will come true, because mine did, and it's still coming true.
Oh man, that's Bernard Harris, y'all.
J-Ross
TV, 10 million strong. We gone. Peace.